Countdown to Election Day is on, and today Ohioans are getting their first chance to weigh in on the 2024 presidential primary.
Yeah, early voting starting today across the state. You can head to your county board of elections offices between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. every weekday.
And as those first votes are officially cast, 10 TV's political reporter Doug Petcash is live at the Franklin County Board of Elections. And Doug, the polls closed just 30 minutes ago. How did day one go, and what's driving out voters?
Well, Yolanda, yes, the polls did close at 5 o'clock on this first day of early voting. Here at Franklin County, it was a slow but steady flow through these doors here at the early voting location. But one man we talked to was motivated to get here.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You're the number one right here.
Okay, thank you.
Richard Southerly had a plan.
I make sure that I know what's going to be on the ballot before I get here.
Press done when you're finished.
Okay.
And a motivation for voting early on day one.
I definitely wanted to get my vote in for President of the United States. Some of the local races also drew me out.
You have your slip. Follow me, please.
Okay.
He breezed right through.
There was a machine ready for me as soon as I was ready for it.
If he chose a Democratic ballot, he found a long list of choices to make for Congress, Senate, judges, sheriff, county commissioner, and of course, president. Two names there, President Biden and Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips. If he chose a Republican ballot, a similar long list, including 5 names for president, even though only 2 are still active campaigns, former President Trump and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. You can vote for the other 3, but as Aaron Sellers with the Franklin County Board of Elections explains,
those individuals that are inactive, if you vote for them, they would still collect delegates. But as I said, the winner does take all.
and there's the 3-way race for the Republican nomination for U.S. Senator from Ohio.
The winner of that race would be the candidate with the most votes.
Doesn't have to be 50 plus 1.
No.
Once you print your ballot, it goes into one of these 2 machines here, okay?
Okay.
A quick 2.5 minutes in the voting booth, and Richard Southerly's well-conceived plan had come to fruition.
And we got it done and over with. It was less than 5 minutes in and out.
His duty done.
We have people that have fought for this right, and it's just incredibly important for me to come out and express my will. Everyone should do this, regardless of who you vote for.
Sellers tells me about 40% of Franklin County voters vote early, while 60% still prefer to come out and vote on Election Day. Early voting runs through March 17th. Yolanda?
All right, Doug, I understand there is a little extra security outside the Board of Elections now. What's that about?
Yeah, something a little different than what we saw here back in November and for the election the last time. They have these yellow barriers out in front of all of the entrances to the buildings. They basically block a car or truck from being able to drive right into the building. If a car or truck drives up on this, it actually flips down and would lift the car's wheels off the ground. Sellers tells me that this wasn't done because of any threats or any issues in the past, just out of a sense of precaution. They always consult with law enforcement about these kinds of things. They just felt this was prudent.
All right, thank you. Doug Petcash reporting live outside Franklin County Board of Elections for us tonight. Thank you, Doug. Well, now to vote, you will need a state ID like a driver's license or a federal ID like a passport card, or military ID. If you don't have a photo ID, you can still vote using a provisional ballot. However, in order for your ballot to count, you'll need to go back to the election board with your ID.
Okay, so you know when to vote, where to vote, and what you need to vote. But how can you know what you'll be voting on before you walk into the booth? There's a resource on the Ohio Secretary of State's website right now where you can get that information. The home screen will take you here. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see an outline of the state and all the counties. For this example, we'll click here on Franklin County. That will take you to the Franklin County Board of Elections website. You just fill in the information here. All the information it asks you for. Some counties ask you for a little more detailed information. Once you fill out this tab, it will take you to a sample ballot. This is the official Democratic primary ballot. This here, the official Republican primary ballot. Lastly, on that page I showed you earlier with the information, your personal information, it can request an absentee ballot. That application that you can also find your polling location if you plan to vote on Election Day instead of early. Good resource to have before you head to the polling places in your area. You can find this link right now on our website. It's easy to find, 10tv.com, or just text the word vote to 614-460-3345. We'll send you our story that also includes a breakdown of the races, the levies, a full list of early voting hours, and much more.